Well, hello and welcome to another edition of Yankees Content Central. So, we got a lot to cover, well, not a whole ton to cover today. Unfortunately, we didn't really get much on Hot Stove, but we'll start with that and we'll continue into the rest of everything else, including the Hall of Fame stuff, all that great stuff. So, first of all, in Hot Stove recap. They discuss thing in terms of moves and stuff like that on Hot Stove. Wi-Fi is really crappy where I am right now, so I apologize if it's lagging. The Wi-Fi is really bad right now. Um, but they didn't really discuss all that much, which is kind of sad. Let me get Instagram. Live. They didn't really discuss all that much today on Yankees Hot Stove. A lot of Hall of Fame stuff. They spoke to Clark Schmidt, who was talking about like making the adjustments ahead of next season. Namely, making sure his pitches are better next season. He mentioned his cutter, his changeup, fixing all that stuff ahead of next year, and staying healthy, which would be fantastic. Clark Schmidt was a very good starter when he was on the field for the Yankees, and I think that his presence. I look like BVD. LOL. I've been told that multiple times. Um, Yankees are cooked if Bryce Harper signs with the Dodgers. Thankfully, he's not a free agent, and that is one of the biggest regrets contracts that the Yankees probably should have signed Harper. And that pisses me off so much to this day because that would have fixed half of the Yankees' first base issues. CC got elected into the Hall of Fame. That's the big news. CC, Ichiro, Billy Wagner, and whatever fucknut didn't vote for Ichiro. I don't know who that is. I don't know who it is, but that person should be like exonerated from voting. Ichiro, like Jeter, who wasn't unanimous, he should have been. Like Mariano was unanimous. Ichiro should have been unanimous. And it's a shame that whoever didn't vote for CC didn't vote for him. It's a shame. So that is disappointing that he wasn't unanimous. But congrats to CC Sabathia. He overcame and accomplished a lot in his major league career, overcoming a lot of different things, alcoholism and drug abuse and all that sort of stuff, and pitching issues in the middle of his career. And he was a workhorse, and he was a guy that many players judge now, and all these players really got to look up to. And we were Japanese players, need to keep trying to recruit them. So I actually wrote an article about this last Monday, when Sasaki announced he wasn't coming to the Yankees. So the problem that I found in my investigating about that is that they want to be on the West Coast. Number one, Shohei Ohtani, I guess, has been like the man for getting all these Japanese players to whatever location. So they're all going to the Dodgers because of Ohtani. That's what we've been told. Now, I don't know how much of a true impact he has, but from what I see, the Dodgers have that market for now. Murakami supposedly wants to be a Yankee. He said he prefers the West Coast, but he's intrigued by being a New York Yankee. His words, not mine. I think it'd be great for the Yankees to get back in the market. Right now, they're seeing that the market's not really going their way. If they're really gonna go for things, what they should do is they should try and dominate the Latin market, at least until the CBA comes out. They're really trying to push right now an international draft to help combat some of this. I'm so bummed everyone wants to go to the Dodgers. I mean, look, me too. It sucks. It really sucks. But look at it this way. The Dodgers want to win. Do you think Dodgers tamper with players over? Absolutely, 100%. I really, really do. And I think MLB's not looking into it enough. I really think they are tampering with players. Now, Bob Nightingale mentioned it. Other people were mentioning it. Ken Rose, who was it? Jim Bowden of the Athletic, not Ken Rosenthal. Excuse me. Jim Bowden of the Athletic mentioned it on Foul Territory right after Sasaki signed. That there were multiple MLB higher ups that were looking into having the Dodgers investigated because they believe there were handshake agreements. Now we all know this happens in the DR and in Cuba and all those Latin countries. We know this. That's a known thing. Baseball's kind of slid that one under the rug. Japan's a little bit general because those players are already playing for either the MPB, KBO, and so they've already been in professional leagues, so it's harder to do. But there needs to be an international draft. How can the Yankees win the World Series and not make mistakes we did in 24? Um, That's a good question. So right now, the problems that the Yankees had in 2024 with not covering bases, not playing defense, not playing fundamentally baseball, base running, stealing bases, they've kind of fixed a lot of those problems. You know, we don't have a third baseman yet. Hopefully they're going to make that move and not just do Oswaldo. Because that'd be fantastic if they actually made a move and didn't just stick with Oswaldo Cabrera, or DJ LeMahieu for that matter. But you pretty much have a gold glover at every position for the exception of Jason Dominguez, who's presumably in center. So that fundamentally you get better. Judge is back in right, so that's easier on his body, so he's less of a liability to get hurt. So there are a lot of good things, the mistakes wise. The one thing I'm concerned about is Yankees pre Juan Soto were not hitting. If that's going to be the same post Juan Soto, we got problems. Now, I think Bellinger's a welcome addition because he can pull the ball really well in Yankee Stadium. I think Paul Goldschmidt, even though he's old, I think that him being in an environment that wants to win, first and foremost, the Yankees want to win. He was in a St. Louis team that sucked for a long time and did not want to win, and now he's on a team that wants to win. It's pretty much World Series or bust. If the Yankees don't make it back to the World Series in this American League, Aaron Boone deserves to be fired. Why did Judge drop the ball in center field? I really don't know. And that question, I don't know. I really, maybe he was trying to do too much. I don't know. That's a question we'll probably never, ever find out. I think they do it. I think they do because it came out that they didn't want to go with the Dodgers, and then all of a sudden he went there. That was the thing. So that's what Jim Bowden in the Athletic that I mentioned on Foul Territory said. He's like, it was almost too perfect. He's like, it was almost too perfect where they're saying he's not going to go to the Dodgers. He wants to go to small market, and then all of a sudden he signs with the Dodgers. All of his best buddies were there. The front office wasn't told by Sasaki or Joel Wolf, his agent. The front office of the Dodgers were told by Shohei Ohtani that Sasaki agreed to terms with them. They weren't told by Sasaki's camp or Sasaki himself, which is very indicative that there was some shady shit going on there. I wouldn't mind Bregman for a short-term deal, move Jazz back to second. Also need a good infield bat. Yeah, I think Bregman's fine. If he can be here on a 2-3 year max deal, absolutely. We need to put this in. I posted this on my other X the other day that um, the Yankees right now, they are at a spot where they need an infield bat. And whether they trade for Correa or they sign Bregman, I posted this yesterday that, why would the Dodgers, because I'm really on the Arenado train, why would the Dodgers trade for Arenado when they could just sign Bregman? And everyone's like, well, 2017, 2017, 2017. Well, 2017, yes. But that was also, 8 years ago now? And believe me, if I'm at Yankee Stadium, I was there for one of the Astros game this year. I was right there chanting, fuck Altuve, let's go Yankees. And I'll say that to the day I die, that those years against Houston haunt me. But there has to be a time right now where business comes before what happened before. If they're going to elect Beltran probably next year into the Hall of Fame, the way the trajectory is landing, You gotta forget. At some point, you need to put winning first, and Bregman and or Correa, those are winning moves. Correa a little less because he's hurt. Bregman also concerns me because his bat doesn't play well for Yankee Stadium at all. Like offensively, because of the way he's a pull hitter, a righty pull hitter, not really great for Yankee Stadium. But if you worked with the coaches, maybe. The Yankees need to put the most money for Murakami. Yeah, yeah, they do. So that's the best way I can see them strengthening this so-called Asian Japanese market right now. Who are the Yankees replace Boone with? Um, I really don't know. I think it would have to be someone outside the organization. That also depends on other jobs that become available. If Bobby Thompson leaves Philadelphia, I would love to have him. He was here in '09. He kind of learned from Joe Girardi. If I don't think the Yankees would go backwards, but I would like Joe Girardi was good, and I would take him back in a heartbeat. There are other candidates out there. I don't want anyone internal. I feel like if they're going to do this with a whole new coaching staff, they got to get rid of everyone, maybe except for Matt Blake and Mike Harkey. Harkey's been there for a while now, so he's been there for multiple regimes of management. If they're going to do this, they need to do this right. 2017 was the team. They wanted it so bad. What some players like, yeah, that's the thing. The 2017 team played with a sense of urgency that they wanted it every single day, that they never quit. One thing that you can't say about the 2024 team, they quit. There were times this season where it was like, okay, like they give up a couple runs early, they're done. Like they're out of it. It just felt that way. And a lot in the summer. And it also felt this year, the whole season, where it's like you really have three chances in the game to, get runners on and score. And it was when Torres or whoever was leading off, Soto and Judge came up. And you don't have that luxury anymore. So, yeah, they didn't play with a sense of urgency this year. And that goes back to, the who you replace Boone with. The Yankees right now aren't playing very well for Boone. They want to preach in that clubhouse that Boone's the guy, Boone's the guy. And yeah, I would love Joe back as well. Boone's the guy, Boone's the guy, Boone's the guy. They don't play hard for him. And my example to everyone I've spoken to is look at Gary Sanchez. Look at the stud he was when he came up, really until I'd say 2018. When Joe Girardi left, I know he left at the end of 17. He was a stud. And all of a sudden, Boone came in and he kind of fell off. Now, I don't think that's fully on Boone, but I think Boone is very hands off, which for a veteran clubhouse is great. For the clubhouse the Yankees have, they want to try this. Dominguez coming up. Volpe obviously probably needs to be cracked down on. You need to crack the whip there. Him that are just unacceptable with the way he's been playing. And up, he's very good defensively. He's awful. And he needs to be better offensively. And I feel like, for the Yankees passing up on Corey Seager, on Carlos Correa, even though there were probably injury stuff there, and all the other free agent shortstops, maybe not trading for Lindor and other things like that, you know, you'd like to have that back. Agree, Boone sticks up for everyone, but he doesn't push anyone to be better. That's the thing. He sat one person since he's been here since 2018, and that was Gleyber Torres, and it was well due. Gleyber should have been taken aside at the beginning of the year, not in the middle of the season, in the middle of a game, when he got a bad read on a ball. And yeah, he probably shouldn't have been thrown out at second. That's kind of pathetic. But Boone really has never acted with a sense of, you know, urgency. Keith McPherson said it on WFAN on Friday night, I think it was. I joined his live for like 2 minutes. And he was talking about, joining in 2020. When before I was fully on the radio, I was covering the Yankees, and I used to have to sit there like I do and watch the Aaron Boone post games. And he goes, I would go to bed pissed every day because he'd say the same five things. It's right in front of us. We control our own destiny. We had some really good at bats. I thought he made great pitches. Judgy's close. One of my dad's friends made a bingo card of all the Aaron Booneisms from his post games, and during the bad stretches this summer, I would sit there with it, and he would say so many of the things on there. And that's the thing with Boone is I give him so much credit because he goes out there and fights for his players. He gets thrown out probably more than any other manager in baseball does, which is great because you have someone who's going to stick up for your players. But, at what point, and Cashman too needs to be a little bit responsible for what's going on. They need to trade and make a deal and get a third baseman. There is no way this team competes with the Dodgers. Now, do the Dodgers just win a World Series in 25? No. Like, they didn't win it yet. It's on paper. Half the people on that team right now can get hurt. You also have a team who the Yankees going to get for the infield right now or trade for. Bregman's still on the market. Arenado, so I'll get to the other rumors section here. Arenado is kind of an interesting case. A source close to St. Louis came out last week before my live stream last week and said that St. Louis has re-engaged with conversations with the Yankees and another team for a trade for Arenado. Nothing final. This could literally be St. Louis calling up and saying, "Hey, are you guys still interested?" And Cashman saying, "No." They need to trade Stroman. That's first and foremost, and it's annoying. At this point, you got to gamble it. If you're Brian Cashman, you got to know some starter somewhere. There's 29 other teams. At least one starter on those 29 teams is going down in spring training, and they're going to need an innings eater to start the year, and they're going to be desperate. St. Louis right now is desperate. From their comments over the weekend at Cardinals Con, whatever the hell it was, they're desperate to get rid of that contract. They really are. That's priority 1, 2, and 3 according to their GM. They don't want to spend big money. Now, the Yankees, they would have to now eat money to get rid of Arenado. And the same with the Yankees would have to eat money to get rid of Stroman. I also think that there's a trade for someone in the works. I also heard tonight that from a close source to the Yankees that they are still interested in Nico Horner and that there could be a possibility of a Nico Horner trade. Probably not. But keep in mind with that, the Cubs are very interested in Alex Bregman on a short-term deal. They would probably be more aggressive in getting Alex Bregman than the New York Yankees. I don't know why. They just seem like they're going to be a little bit aggressive. They're trying to go for the Central. That would probably be a smart move for them on a short-term deal. Um, Detroit has ceased talks with Bregman. They're still very interested, but they have kind of cooled off there. I kind of hope he goes to either the Yankees or the Cubs. I am very scared that he's going to go to Boston. I did read from Hector Gomez, who I don't really trust, but I follow him for giggles. Um, Retweeted a post from Carlos. He's a retard when it comes to this stuff. He's apparently very connected with the Latin players, but this is stupid. Bregman's already a Red Sox, according to him, which is not accurate. Until Jeff Passan says Alex Bregman is a Red Sox, don't believe anything. There is belief around the industry, though, that Alex Bregman wants to be a Red Sox, and the Red Sox front office does not want Alex Bregman. There is belief of that. Around the East, Vladdy's apparently getting extended. Again, that's from Carlos Baerga. He's apparently getting extended. I would not be shocked about this. If Toronto is serious about winning in the long term, they need to extend Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Free agents are just not going to go to Toronto if they know that the immediate, the core isn't there. So they want to apparently get Jurickson Profar and or Pete Alonso before the end of the offseason, which I would probably rather Profar competing against them because Pete's kind of killed us over the years. But, to circle around, and I don't really want to say this, but I'm going to say it. In terms of everyone saying that the Yankees are the little brother to the New York Mets, look at the two teams and look at the two rosters. One has a complete pitching staff, one has an elite bullpen, and one has a lineup that's going to score enough runs to win close games. One has no lineup past three. One has a starting rotation that are three question marks and four question marks, and an okay if we can replicate last year, and a bullpen that is serviceable. Look at those two teams. Who had the better offseason? I mean, they got Soto. We got a Hall. I think Bellinger's going to be great. I think Dominguez is going to be a stud when he comes up. I think trading for Williams was fantastic. What scares me is that Brian Cashman is just going to get some scrub infielder and say, okay, or he's just going to stick with DJ. But nothing of substance on Hot Stove this week, so we really don't know. But I'm going to leave it there. Obviously, if news breaks, I'll go live for that news. But thank you all for watching and engaging with me. Please follow and subscribe and have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys soon.